Welcome to Survival Defense Lab. In today's video, part of a much larger series, we're going to be looking at which firearm is the best for home defense. Now, when considering which firearm you want to choose for home defense, there are a lot of factors to consider, such as wall penetration, maneuverability, ease of use, cost of ammo, legality, etc., etc., etc. So, in this video series, we here at Survival Defense Lab are going to examine these factors to help give you a better idea of what to look for in a firearm that you might want to purchase for home defense. And this video series is kind of be styled like a tournament with a final winner at the end, but remember, what will actually be the winner for your situation will depend on which factors matter most to you. So in today's video, we're going to examine wall penetration. Now this is an important factor because you always need to be aware of what's behind your target, and when you're firing in your home, it could very likely be your wife or kids. So if you have a round and you miss the bad guy and it penetrates the wall and kills whatever is behind it, probably not the type of round or gun we want for home defense. So we're going to see if we can find a round that'll stop when it hits the wall, or at least the second layer of drywall. And this video is going to see if we can find any round that does just that. Now during these tests we do focus on rifles and shotguns. I know. A lot of you are like, what about handguns? And we will be doing a video on handguns, but we're going to keep the videos separate just for clarity's sake. The reason we're starting with long guns is because a lot of people already have these for hunting or recreational purposes and are wondering if they'll do double duty. So again, we'll get to the handguns, just not in this video. So for this video we took 3 guns out to a favorite shooting spot of mine and set up a demo wall that I built. It's built out of 2x4s with studs every 16 inches and a standard layer of 1/2 inch drywall on each side. So except for the lack of house paint, which really won't make a difference, this is exactly like the walls in your house. We then set up one of the triplets, and I'll introduce who they are in a second. But we set up one of the triplets behind the wall for each shot, and then we shot each gun and documented the results. I'll go ahead and let you view the video and pics, and then come back with my conclusions. Oh, and before we go any further, let me introduce you to the triplets, Leroy, Thelma, and Bertha. They'll be acting as stand-ins for our loved ones who might be on the other side of the wall, and as a result may be in danger of becoming collateral damage. Now, all I can say is you probably shouldn't become too attached to them. The triplets. Stay attached to your loved ones. The first weapon we tested was the .22 long rifle. A lot of people have these around their house as they're a good beginner gun, and the rounds, if you can find them, are cheap. The specific gun we used here was the Colt M4 carbine .22 long rifle. It's an AR-15 clone that is chambered to shoot .22 LR. We also used 3 different types of .22 long rifle rounds. The first round was a CCI lead round nose. The second was a Winchester hollow point. This one was copper instead of lead. And then finally the CCI Stinger, which is the highest velocity .22 long rifle round you can get and is also a hollow point. The second round we tested was the .270. This is a very common hunting caliber, and to test this round we used a Howa .270, which is a bolt-action rifle. An interesting fact about this rifle is that it's used by Japanese police forces for their snipers. The specific round that we used was the Fusion .270 Winchester. The final gun we tested, and my personal favorite and pick to win here, is an H&R 12 gauge partner pump, and the ammo we used was Federal Ammunition 12 gauge target load. Nice. Alright, so the results were a little bit surprising. I was really putting my bets on the shotgun not penetrating through both walls, but as we can see, it did a pretty good job of putting a huge hole through both walls. The other round's not really a surprise. I was definitely expecting the 270 to go through. Did not expect the melon explosion we got, but definitely expecting the 270 to go through, and happily surprised by how awesome that was when it blew that melon to pieces. 22, I wasn't sure what would happen. I figured it would go through. The hollow points I thought probably wouldn't expand, but with the drywall getting into them. But you look at the holes and they obviously expanded at least a little bit. Definitely expanded more than the round-headed, lead-nosed 22 did. So, what can we conclude from all of this? The first thing is always be aware of what's behind your target, what's behind the bad guy. For the most part, any round is probably going to go through. If birdshot did that, or target load did that, I can guarantee you a buckshot or a slug is definitely going through the wall. So, one, don't miss, and two, make sure you know what's behind the guy you're shooting at. Calculate that into your risk assessment, whether you think you need to make the shot or not. Even if you do find a round that's not going to go through the wall, you don't want to just assume that that's the case. And here's why. When we finished shooting the video, me and my friends who were out there shooting decided to just shoot at the wall and have some fun. I backed up probably just 5 feet and shot a target load shot at the wall, and it didn't go through the second layer. I'll show you the pictures right now. You can take a look at that. You'll see the spread's a little bit wider. When you look at the back, even though there's kind of a dent, nothing got through. And I re-examined the initial shotgun hole, and where there was some spread and not that bunch right in the middle, and that spread didn't get through. So when the pellets break apart, they aren't going through the wall. So if you were to use something like target load, you actually have a good chance of shooting the bad guy and not putting something through the wall behind him, especially with that spread. Some of it may miss him and go back. But as little as 5 feet changed the spread enough that I was able to blast a 2.5-inch hole through the wall and destroy the melon that was behind it. And so the lesson here is, even if you find a round that you trust is not going to go through the wall, maybe a frangible or something similar to that, you still can't rely on that. You can't make that assumption. Any round you take is going to probably go through the wall, and you need to assume it's going to go through the wall. That is the safer assumption. So, I'm still betting on the shotgun. I think the other videos I'm going to record are going to show why the shotgun is a better home defense weapon than a standard rifle or even a handgun. I know that's a controversial statement, but I really think the shotgun is going to come out on top. And the other videos are going to show that. But I think for this video, even though the shotgun with some adjustments was able to not make it through the wall, I'm going to call it a draw and say that none of the rounds are good. We're going to test future rounds though in the future. We're going to test handgun rounds. We're going to get our hands on some frangibles. We're going to test those out. But as of right now, no round wins. And so this is a tie for losing, not even a tie for winning. Go ahead and leave your comments below. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with my conclusions and my testing methods. I disagree with some of my testing methods, so that's okay. Just leave your comments below, and if you'd like to see more, like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll get videos out as quickly as possible. Thank you for your time, and stay awesome.